We're live.
I think we're live. Is this where you say bam or do you say bam afterwards?
All you do is talk, talk. Talk, 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 talk. All you do is talk, talk. Talk, 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 talk. All you do is talk, talk.
Bam!
I've
I had to beat you to it.
This is how you teach a monkey new tricks.
Are we teaching monkeys tricks?
You're just teaching this little monkey tricks. You look like a very handsome monkey tonight, Lofi.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
You look like a monkey yourself.
I deserve that. I do. I confess, I deserve that comment.
What are we talking about?
Tonight we're talking about lies. The lies that people tell in relationships. And you know, there are so many theories about lying that there are the kind of lies that we shouldn't tell, like, where were you last night? Kind of lies. And then the lies we should tell, like, in answer to, do I look fat in these jeans? And I guess here's one of the wonderful things about the subject for tonight, Loki, is you being on the spectrum and the fact that you are very confused anyway, because you're very logical and actually your nature is to be very honest. But you've learned, haven't you, throughout your life, that it doesn't always pay to be honest.
It doesn't. People are, I mean, there's just times like the jeans thing.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I mean, people say I don't lie, whatever, blah, blah, blah. In reality, I believe all people lie. Well, it's actually scientifically proven that people lie 10 times a day. But there's small lies.
I will take umbrage. I will take, because you know what? The scientists who say that you lie 10 times a day, I would love to know how and where they get this research from.
On average.
Empirically impossible to prove. Impossible to prove how many times people lie. There might be people who lie 20,000 times a day and people who don't lie. However, what they're doing is they're basing it on the fact that when I say, David, how are you today? And you say,
great.
What if you actually weren't great, but you said great because it's socially acceptable for you to say one thing, great or fine? That would then be counted in the scientist's mind as a lie.
That is.
But what if you, because this is where we get into labeling, what if you took the words as how are you just as to be blah, blah, blah. It just is meaningless. It's blah, blah, blah.
Well, then we could say nobody lies because everybody just goes blah, 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 blah.
And then you go blah, 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 in response, and it just doesn't mean anything because you're just doing an exchange. However, if I ask you how you are, I expect you to tell me.
Okay.
Okay, that's just me.
All right. I usually do tell people.
I know.
I had to learn how to do it right.
I know that.
How are you? Oh, you won't believe what's going on with me.
All right. So now, folks, welcome to Talk with David Lofi and Shanti Niven. Tonight, we're talking about the lies people tell. And we want you to contribute as well. We want to hear about the lies that you've heard, the lies that you've said. Let's just talk about lying in a relationship. When is it acceptable to lie and when is it not acceptable to lie? And how do we tell the difference? And why is it okay to be angered by a lie if you are lying all the time? Where do we draw the line? Where is that line? So it's an interesting topic. Say hi if you've popped in. We want to say hi back to you. We will be
hello.
A game at the end of the show where you can participate. I have no idea yet what the game's going to be. Do you know, Lofi?
I don't. I thought you had a game. Isn't there a game like?
Well, you know what? We could continue with the game that we didn't finish last week, which was asking our audience questions, seeing how smart they are.
Oh.
We could do that. Okay, let me kick off tonight with a couple of the common lies that we tell. Okay. Numero uno. I'm almost there.
Yeah, I tell that one a lot.
So, okay, now I'm going to tell you a little secret. You know, I said to you before, Lofi, that I don't lie. And for the most part, that's actually true. I really try hard not to lie. And in fact, my family would tell you that I'm so honest that I have suffered from foot and mouth disease my entire life. I will say stuff that makes people's sideburns like curl up. Eventually, I learned not to tell the truth. Well, and because I find it so uncomfortable to lie, I've learned to just say nothing. However, I learned that South Africans lie all the time because we have certain expressions that mean something to us that doesn't mean something to the rest of the world. So let me give you an example. My ex, Eddie, would call me and he'd say, when are you going to get home? And I'd say, just now. Now, in South Africa,
What does that mean?
in South Africa, just now is any time in the future. It literally means any time in the future. It could be tomorrow. Just now just means it's just a kind of a fluff off. So if somebody in South Africa says, if you ask them when are they coming by and they say just now, it means anytime. The next soonest thing is now. Now means soon, but it could mean, today sometime, but it means soon, now. And then if you meant to say you're going to arrive in the next 10 minutes or so, you're going to say, I'll be there now. Now you can imagine his confusion when I said, I'll be there just now.
Just now.
Just now. He would call me 10 minutes later and say, well, where are you? And I'd say, I told you I'm going to be there just now. This drove him absolutely insane until he realized that I was speaking in South African. And any South Africans who are listening to the show, please chime in and type in that I'm telling the truth here, because this is absolutely the truth. This is how we talk. And guys, tonight, if you want to make Lofi smile, give us a smile. You are going to give him a thumbs up like that. You're going to give him, you're going to hit the like button right now. Do it. If you want to make me smile, then you're just going to give me the little heart. Just a little heart button. Just click the little heart button. And if you can't choose between handsome Lofi and me, Lofi who's not paying any attention whatsoever, then I don't know what he's doing, but he's doing something. I think he's Googling something. He's probably Googling South African expressions. If you want to make me smile, give me a heart. If you want to make him smile, give us a thumbs up or give him a thumbs up. And if you can't choose, give us a laughy face, all right? But just respond. If you're watching the show, and we know you are, guess what? We can actually tell who's watching the show. And we get really upset when you don't respond and say hi or whatever. You're just looking at us like a couple of goldfish.
We know who's lying.
We know who's lying because we can read minds. But we don't want to be a couple of baldfish. I'm talking about David, sorry.
Goldfish?
We don't want to be a couple of goldfish in a bowl. I'm just talking and rabbiting on here because what are you doing, Lofi?
I'm, believe it or not, I'm looking at dogs.
You're looking at dog. Why? We're in the show.
Hello. Oh, Shanti. Hello, Audra. Hello, Daniel. Hello, Ellie. Hello, Jessica. Hello, Jay. Hello, Daniel.
I thought nobody was watching the show because I don't know where Ellie's gone.
Lindsay.
By the way, I want to mention that our show's producer is none other than the gorgeous, intelligent, talented Ellie Ramirez. And we are so grateful to have her on the show, fielding your questions and deciding which questions get before David and myself, the comments. And by the way, Ellie, you can start putting the comments up because David Lofi's not contributing to tonight's show. So
I am. I'm pulling up the comments so I can say hi to people. Alicia Hughes, hello. Jill Best, hello. How are you?
Yes, so great.
Hey, what happened to my...
What happened?
Like I got darker.
Okay, Ellie says she doesn't see any comments, but there's lots of comments. I don't know what's going on. Ellie, maybe. Dan Peterson says, hi, guys. Oh, here we go.
I see him.
Daniel Lofi says, you're both fuzzy, or am I drunk? Daniel?
He's probably drunk. I'm going with he's drunk.
I know that it's an effect sometimes when men look at me, they get drunk.
Is that right? I have the same effect.
Yeah, Laura says, hi, everyone. Alicia here says, hello. And okay, so now Eddie, I don't know why you're not seeing the comments. Hello, Catherine. Now, the subject tonight is lying. Tell us about the lies you've told and the lies that have been told to you.
Let's hear some lies.
Let's hear some juicy ones.
Yeah, juicy ones.
Hi, Linda. She says, I love dogs. Oh, there we are. Thank you for all the hearts. I can see the hearts, the likes, and the laughy faces. I'm going to give myself a few hearts.
I had to change the light because I had to open the screen and it changed the light on the.
All right. Okay.
I hope that's okay.
I'm going to admit to something. When I was a kid, the reason why I'm so stringent about truth telling now in my adult years is that when I was a kid, I had a very vivid imagination and I told some whoppers and I got into very big trouble. So one of my whoppers as a kid was that I wanted attention. I was at school and I noticed that when other kids had their mother or father, when their parents had another child, there was special attention paid to them. And so I invented my mother's pregnancy and told everybody that my mother was pregnant and about to have babies. And because my mother didn't
Please, Shanti.
yeah, no. Because my mother wasn't often at the school, I could get away with this. And sometime later they would ask me, well, how is your mom doing? I say, she's fine, blah, blah, blah. And then eventually she gave birth, in my imagination, of course. And she had twins, not one, two babies. And so everybody would ask me about the twins. And eventually these twins took on a life of their own. They're really, honestly, I created such wonderful stories. The whole school were hanging on to my every word about these twins. And this went on for years. And then one day, to my great embarrassment, I was at a birthday party and my mother very unexpectedly came to pick me up. As I say, she never interacted with anybody from the school. So I got away with the twin story for years until the mother of the kid that I had attended the party went up to the gate and said, oh, Noni, so lovely to see you. How are the twins?
Oh, no.
And
that's when your mom knew you were trouble.
That's when my mom found out, yeah. And the twins
Mumsy, right?
The twins were murdered in one day. I had such fun telling stories about the twins, but from that day on, nobody believed me. So that was the first experience of how lies didn't work.
I imagine Mumsy was not happy with you. My brother says, don't say Lofi, you could be talking to a lot of us. There are a lot of us.
Well, you know what? I don't know how.
He says,
Coutinho, hello, Lindsay. Lindsay's on the show. Lindsay, we want to hear about lies. No, and you know what?
I heard Lindsay never lies.
I don't know. She'll have to tell us that. Daniel and Steve, actually, it's true. When I say Lofi, I'm talking to all three of you.
Alicia says there's booze tonight. Dang, I'm sober. Or is that a lie?
I don't know. But that's another thing. Would you lie to a traffic cop, to a highway patrolman? Okay, so the number one lie is I'm almost there, or I've just left. I'm around the corner. I'm about to get there. I'm on the road. Those are the sort of common lies that we tell every day. Number two.
Flies keep coming in to your screen.
Huh?
Do you have your light on?
Oh my gosh, that's awful. Let me just lean forward.
There you go.
Maybe I'm rotting. Those are the flies coming in.
Flies are coming in.
Okay, so another lie that people say is, oh, it must have landed up in my spam folder.
Oh. No, I've never done that.
I haven't either.
Okay, maybe. Never. I would never do
What
that.
What about I sent it? It must be in your spam folder.
I say that. Yeah, it must be in your spam folder. That's the good one. Coming back to it.
Yeah. So what happens in those instances is you get an email, you see it, you open it, you think, okay, I'll deal with it later, but then you promptly forget about it and somebody then says, did you get my email? And you go, oh, and you think, okay, oh, it must be in my spam folder. All right, another one is my phone died.
My phone died. That's a good one for I didn't really want to talk to you anymore.
I do that with Lofi a lot. I just go blink. And then a little later on, he says to me, your phone must have died. I go, yeah.
Yep. Because I'm used to her phone dying
Okay, Lofi, you know what?
often.
I've never done that to you. And it truthfully is my phone dying because we spend far too much time on the phone. It's true. And my battery dies. Okay, look, Lindsay's saying, husband payment plan, a little cash, a little check, a little charge, and I hope he doesn't catch it.
Right. She says she's so honest.
Trust me.
Her.
Yeah, Lindsay, I don't know
Yeah.
if I would trust you with my credit card. But Lindsay is wonderful to spend time with. She's that's all I'm gonna say.
Are we?
Right.
It's like I can't see the feed. She has new ones coming in, but
Well, you know what, Lindsay, I think we should have Lindsay on the show sometime. This woman is so much fun. She is hilarious. All right.
Mhm.
Okay, there's lots of things coming in here. Alicia says, that's no ticket. What does that mean? Oh, there is booster night. Dang, I'm sober. Or is that a lie? Thus no ticket. Okay, I think I might have.
yep, we got that. That's kind of weird.
Yeah, and then Jill Bear said my phone was on silent. You know what was on silent is your brain. It was like, I'm not answering that call. That was what was on silent, right? And Jill says, which is true most of the time. You see, now Jill's giving her secret away. So if we call Jill and it just rings out, we know. Oh, Lindsay says, I love the answer. She says, I wouldn't trust me with your credit card. Gotta love her. She's a card. All right. What are the other lies? Yeah, Facebook's being a little weird today. I think David's frozen. Look, he's frozen in the weirdest position. Look at his
Lose
face.
me? Did you lose me?
Yes, we lost you. You were frozen in this like.
Oh, great.
She says, boss, you are frozen. Eddie says, boss, you are frozen. Yeah, and it's always when you get frozen in a position that's not flattering. Like you'll be like this.
Right.
That you could do better than that. Look. Okay, so another lie is, all right. Okay, here's another one. It wasn't that expensive. This is for Lindsay. It wasn't that expensive. I saved loads of money. This is a good one to break out when your partner asks you how much you spent on that new jacket or shoes. You definitely couldn't afford them, but that's what credit cards are for, right? So that's the kind of thing you say, oh, I saved $800 on this jacket. It was $2,000, but I only paid $1,200. Okay, folks, if you see all these black weird things happening behind me, I don't know what's causing them. Okay. Lindsay says, oh my God, that's my favorite. See, she knows all the tricks. She knows how to tell her husband how she saved him money by spending. Isn't that a good one, Lofi? Oh no, he's frozen again. Oh, look at that express. That's the best. Imagine if we were both frozen like. But hold on, his facial expression. Oh, it sounds like I am alone on the show tonight. Maybe I'm not. Maybe everybody's frozen and I'm. There we go. He's back. Lofi, we caught you again in a very serious. I tell you what, why don't you try smiling a bit more often, and then at least when you freeze, we can.
I'll be. I am. I'm trying to figure out what's going on here. It's like I don't know. Okay, so.
Okay. Another common lie, folks, is we'll just have one more, referring to a drink. Just one more. I mean, I don't lie like that because I don't drink so often. Oh, he's frozen again. No. Okay. All right, guys. I need you to participate and tell me about the lies you've been told, but also the lies that you tell. Just the little white lies. And Ellie says it's time for David to promo, and he's stuck. He's frozen in outer space. Oh, no, there he is. Okay, promo.
You're on Talk with
Wait, now
Wait.
you mute.
David. No, I'm not.
Like, there you go. You back?
You're on Talk with David Lofi, Shanti Niven on the Let's Get Froze show. No, let's not get froze. But like us, share, subscribe to.
Okay, he's frozen again. Oh, we're having a bad time on this show. Like or subscribe. Support us. Go to YouTube, subscribe to our channel. And Daniel Lofi, when I say Lofi, I'm referring to the one that I'm talking to on camera. But you're all included in my Lofi list. And I happen to love Lofis. So there you go. All right. Richard is watching tonight. Isn't that awesome? Hi, Richard. David, you're back. You've been in.
I am back. I'm going to look at.
Hi, Janelle. Welcome to the show. Okay, so another lie that people say is, it's so great to see you. Lofi, we cannot have you looking for something on the screen because we need your participation in the show. Okay. So it's so nice to see you when you're clapped eyes on this person that you really don't want to see. Oh, I think he's frozen again. I'm doing a whole show with the frozen mummy. Well, look, you know what? It's wonderful, actually. He's not speaking. He's quiet. Lofi, tell me, you think I'm absolutely marvelous, don't you? He's nodding. Okay, there we go. He's nodding.
I got that. I think it might be this. Let's get. All right.
Okay. All right. So let's see. Other lies. Tell us about the lies that you've told or been told in a relationship. Maybe tell us stories about where you got caught in a lie or where you caught your husband or your wife in a lie. Tell us some fun stories. Okay. Lindsay says, Billy one time told me not to spend our money on those shoes. And then he came home and I had the shoes. So he scolded me. And I thought I told you not to spend our money on shoes. Okay. He said, I thought I told you not to spend our money on shoes. So let me go. I replied, but I didn't. I spent my money. And every time he came home, he would put change in my piggy bank and say, I bought money for you. So I took my piggy bank to the shoe store, counted out every penny and bought the shoes with my money. Sometimes a lie is maneuvering around the truth. Oh,
Am I back?
You're back. I didn't even notice you
All
were
right.
gone.
I was.
Okay, this sucks. I'm going to dinner, says Daniel Lofi. No, he keeps on freezing. Okay. Have any of you ever told a lie and done this, the cross your fingers thing behind your back? All right, what I need to know from our audience is who's actually able to hear and see me and David, because all I see is David going. We might have to write the show off. David, this is not working. Even Daniel Lofi says he's going to go to dinner now because this whole show has been a travesty and a disaster.
A controversy?
A travesty.
I know. This is. I don't know what's going on here.
I don't know either, but it's very disturbing that I have to do the show on my own talking to a wax dummy.
You're doing a very good job. Wait, I'm not wax.
That's what you look like. You're like, I'm gonna connect your-
Well, I'll try not to go blank anymore. I don't know what's the deal.
Eddie says no issues with you, Shanti, just with David, but I can't see many of the comments. So we seem to be having a general problem. We don't.
I don't know. Maybe it's Zoom then. Because
No,
the internet
it's
says it keeps staying connected. I don't see internet issues.
I think it can't be Zoom because otherwise it would be both of us, and I
Oh.
think it's got to do with your internet connection, Luffy.
Well, I would have thought so, but doesn't necessarily mean that my connection to Zoom. So, okay. Because we're having issues with.
Well, now you're back. It seems you haven't frozen for the last few seconds, at least. So,
I'm here for a few seconds.
but I lost my greatest fan, Daniel.
See, so
Apparently, it's on Facebook. So,
yeah, there's issues with can't see the images or the text. I wasn't able to see them either. Very weird.
all right. Another lie that apparently people say is that they look more at personality than they do at looks. David loves personality, boobs with personality.
What are boobs?
Boobs, breasts. The bigger her boobs, the more her personality.
That's not true.
It is true.
That
know
is not
it's true.
true
It
at
is
all.
true. It is true.
You make me out to be
Love
such
girls
a
with
horrible person.
Big personalities. 2 of them.
That's not true. Niven. Your flies are back.
See, I know where the flies come from. Flies
Where?
are just lies with an F.
That's it. It's your lies. Your lies are back.
All right. So yeah, men who say that they go for personality. Hi, Jeffrey,
I think a lot of men go for personality.
Shauna, and Laura, and Brian. Okay. One of my exes, I better not mention names. I knew when he was lying because his lips were moving.
That's not a one-liner.
No, but it's actually true. I want to just give you a little bit of explanation. He could lie with his eyes, but not with his lips.
Oh, really?
Here's what he would do when he lied. His mouth would exaggerate movements. He would go very, very, what are you talking about?
Laura says she looks like you're playing statues.
Yes.
So I think it's Facebook.
I'll tell you what we should do. We should play a game. If you are talking when David freezes, you win a prize.
Oh, Janelle says the show is good with David being frozen. All right, Janelle. All right.
Good. Okay, we're talking about lies, the lies that you tell, the lies that your partner tells to you. What do you think? I want to ask you guys this question. When is a lie a good thing? Is it a good thing? Is it always good to be truthful? My fiance and I made a choice between each other that we were going to tell the truth, even if it hurt. If I don't want to tell the truth, I will say that. I don't want to talk about that yet or now or whatever. But we prefer truth, even if it's hurtful.
Mhm.
So I think that's, for me, truth is very important in a relationship. I prefer, if I ask if I look fat in an outfit, I actually do want the answer. That's why I don't ask if I don't want to know.
Sure. That's what you do.
I do. I want to know. I do. I want to know. Like, I don't want to go out looking like a freak. If I ask, what do I look like in this outfit? I want to know the truth. Do you know what? My son, David, who's also on the spectrum, hasn't learned to lie like you have. And so if I want the truth about something, I ask him.
I learned from you guys.
It's true. I'm not going to deny that. David Lofi's inclination is to tell the truth. And I will say, and I will back him up as a
Hey,
friend,
Kelly. Mhm.
that he is actually truthful by nature, but he has learned to obfuscate. He's learned to play by social rules. So he will tell women what they want to hear rather than what they.
Brian.
Hi, Brian. Good to see you. Hey, family. Says Kelly. I love that. All right, let's go on with the lies that we say. So another lie is how many people you've had sex with. Notice I scratched that's a tell, by the way. That means I'm uncomfortable with the subject.
3.
And you're scratching your nose and rubbing your mouth. That is such a lie, David.
No, really. 3.
You know what our game's going to be when we get to 6:45? Our game's going to be, I'm going to ask you a question. You can tell the truth or a lie, and we're going to ask the audience if they know the difference.
Okay.
Apparently, the common answer when people ask their mate, how many people have you slept with in your life, is the average answer is 3. That really sucks for someone like me who is genuinely only ever slept with 3 people. I'm going to tell that live online.
The answer is always 3. It is called the rule of 3.
I know. That's what David says. And the problem is when you actually have only slept with 3 people, you're never going to be believed.
Well, mine is actually only 3.
You know what? I know
3.
you're lying. I know you're lying. Okay. And nobody out there, you see, I'm saying this publicly, which means I'm inviting all the women who've slept with David to contact me.
Oh, don't do that.
Anyone who's
There'll only be 3.
anyone who's ever had sex with David, please email me.
Oh, Dad.
Email or message me, okay? And I invite the men to do the same with anyone who's, because, you know, I've told the truth. A lie is never a good thing. Lies lead to more lies. I agree. Okay. Would you lie about how many sexual partners you've had? Would you do that?
Never.
Okay, now watch. I, as a lie detector, can tell that he is lying right now.
Eyes?
And you're on Talk Talk with Shanti Niven and David Lofi the liar.
Now I'm the liar.
Shanti Niven and David Lofi the liar on Talk Talk, where we talk about talk. And tonight's subject is the lies people tell. And if you're watching by way of YouTube, please subscribe to our channel, click like. If you're not watching by way of YouTube, please go and find our YouTube channel. We will post up a link. In fact, I might do that on the group, where you can go and just subscribe to support us, because we're trying to get this frickin' channel off the ground, right?
Right.
And would you please hit the like or love button to give us some love, make us feel good. Like for David, love for me, or a laughy face if you can't choose. All right. So the lying about whether you've slept with, okay, here's a good one here. Janelle said, my ex lied to me during our marriage. He'd get upset every time I caught him in a lie and say I was trying to start a fight. But that's the narcissist technique, right? He was the master of gaslighting. Kelly has said, I've always said, if you don't want an honest answer, don't ask me. Okay, Kelly, you, from now on, if I buy an outfit, I'm going to get on video and ask you if I look fat.
Is this me? I'll tell you.
Have you ever lied when somebody comes up to you at a social event and said, I'm going to ask this to people, and said, hey, do you remember me? And you don't.
No, I usually, yeah. No, I don't. It's so hard not to say I don't, but I have had, I mean, I just don't know where to go with that.
Yeah, when somebody says, do you remember me? Hey, David Lofi, and they remember everything about you. Remember me? How's the kid? How's the da-da-da-da? Remember me? And you're like, my worst is because I speak everywhere. So I've got people who see me on stage, right? And they're like, hey, Shanti. And they know a lot of stuff about me because I've shared it. And then I'm like, who is this person?
Right.
So, okay, I wouldn't lie about my past sexual partners, but I wouldn't tell either. Okay, see, now there's a novel thought.
tell.
If somebody asks you, how many people have you slept with? None of your business.
Right?
Why do you have to tell? Like, men think it's great because they can, my ex told me that he slept with hundreds of women and he thought that would impress me. And it put me right off.
Yeah.
So
I've got a question.
Yes.
If you woke up in the morning of the opposite sex, what's the first thing you do?
If I woke up in the morning with someone of the opposite sex,
No, you were the opposite sex. You woke up, you were a male.
I woke up and I turned from a female to a male.
Mhm.
What's the first thing I do? Scream. I would. I mean, if I had to find a snake in the bed with me, yep. Scream. Why would you ask this question?
So yes. I thought it was a good question.
I know, but I want to know why. I want to ask our people, what would you do if you woke up as you were a female and suddenly you turn into a man, or you're a man and you suddenly turn into a woman? I know what Lofi would do.
What would I do?
I'm not going to say it. We're not in uncensored.
I would
Okay.
call the office and say I'm not in for the next month.
I know, and you.
Lock the doors, turn the lights off.
Just hope that you're an attractive woman, because I don't think you would be. All right. The past. Okay, so there's people saying the first thing that Jill Best said she would do is pee. Kelly Lewis said she would cry. Laura says,
How come we're not seeing them? What's the deal?
I don't know what's going on. So I'm going to have to say,
Yeah, very weird.
Best. Men can usually boast about their sexual partners, but women are looked down on if they say how many they've had. That is true. That is
Men
true.
can boast about it.
Well, men do. I think that's one of probably the biggest lies as well, that men sometimes boast about to other men,
Well, I've only been with 3.
Been with in what way?
Yeah. Home run. Only 3 times too.
I wouldn't own up to that, David.
Oh, don't go that far.
Happy birthday to you, to Maggie. Happy birthday.
Birthday to you.
Happy
birthday,
dear
Lady Angie.
Maggie. Happy birthday. My dog is looking at me. Maggie, my dog's name is also Maggie. So she put
Right.
it up. It's okay, Maggie. All right. Happy birthday, Maggie Enzi. All right. Hi, Joseph.
Are you getting the feed? I'm not getting any of the feed. This is very
I'm
weird.
looking at it on my phone. All right. Okay. What lies do you tell or have you told
This is very weird.
in a relationship, even to spare the person? Another lie that's apparently also told regularly is when you say that makes sense when it doesn't.
I've never done that.
No, because
I've always been one to say
that makes
that
no
makes
sense.
no sense.
I know. You've said that many times to me. That makes no sense.
Like, okay, that makes sense. And I'm not one to, if you say, like a lot of people, like you said, early on when we started talking, there, I had some communication issues with understanding some of the things you were saying. And you would,
Diplomatic.
hmm?
That was so diplomatic. Well done, David.
Well, I'm just saying. So I think that, but early on, so you would say things and people, or you would, when I go, what did you say? And you go, wow, you ask what I said. And I said, yeah, what's unusual about that? She goes, most people do not.
Mhm.
They just kind of go, okay.
They don't want to act like they're foolish. So I'll say a word. They have no idea what I've just said, but they'll just assume that it's something intelligent because obviously I come across as so in.
Well, I think that's part of the whole thing too with the Ask Me thing is the fact that I've had to. Some of my humor actually comes from that too. My sense of humor is like a cover up.
Right. Well, one of the things that I still think my favorite story is how in the early days, I'll tell you the story about Victoria Ainsley and about the cutoff point.
And the fluffle point.
It's just too good. How we for such a long time went on with this misunderstanding. We've got to tell that story again sometime. So I'm going to get you to prepare that story for the next show that we're together.
Okay.
Because next week, sadly, everybody, I will not be here. I will be training a bunch of engineers in communication skills. And so David will be running the show with Tanya. I'm sure you will not miss me at all because Tanya is my replacement and she's
And we're going to be talking about dating.
About dating, rules in dating. And to be honest with you, I actually am glad she's doing that because I really don't know anything about dating.
I don't know the rule. I know the rules have changed.
I haven't done a lot of dating, so I don't really know what the rules are. Like, do you sleep with somebody on the first date is a big question.
Well, I think the answer is yes.
I think it's no.
It's automatic yes.
Things like
Do you buy you
who pays for
coffee?
dinner, who buys, do you go for drinks, how do you best meet people? All those questions are going to be happening next week with Tanya. And Kelly Lewis is dating. What's a date? Date is something that looks like a prune, except it's sweet.
You are correct. That's a very good answer.
Oh, goodness. Okay.
Why stop the inevitable, right? Come on.
No, it's not inevitable. You know what? Okay. All right. What about, I want to ask, what do you do in a situation when you somebody says something to you and you don't hear, you have a concentration lapse, they say kaspluption, whatever. They say a word and you go, pardon? And they say kaspluption. And you say, how many times can you say pardon before you pretend you know? You know?
I just continue.
You do. That's how I knew that you were SP. Because most people will just go, oh, okay. David will not let me go until he knows what I'm saying.
Because you're on Talk with Shanti Niven and David Lofi. Subscribe, like our YouTube channel. Invite people to the show. Invite people to the group. We fixed some things today on the group that I think a lot more of you will be happy with.
Mm-hmm.
We can't, well, still trying to fix them, but
the thing that we want to say to you guys, by the way, on the group, what is Talk about? It's about talking, about conversation starters. Please, please post up stuff that is of interest to everybody else. Now, you might have an absolute passion and a love for something in your life. You might love your boat, or your car, or your whatever it is. And it's fine. Post it up on your Facebook wall. But on Talk, we want you to get into discussions, and mostly to do with relationships and human issues. And it's about talk. That's what this group is about. So just be careful that you're posting up stuff that other people are interested in. If you post things up and you don't get responses, then you might get a clue that this is not something for public consumption. We're going to get a lot stricter about the content that we allow onto our group, because there were people who were actually leaving the group because they were saying it was getting a bit too much in some instances. So we really want to encourage you to contribute in positive ways. We're creating conversations and connections with this group. Janelle says she's clueless about dating right now. Then you should be watching the show next week, because you're going to learn a lot.
Yep. Tanya's going to teach all of us.
Right. David really needs some help, Tanya.
Is she even on here? Have you seen her on here?
I don't know. But Tanya, if you're watching this, you know, please help David. See, at least he does at least know my sense of humor.
Oh, that sense of humor?
Ooh, pow. I got it back, didn't I?
You did.
Okay.
All that sense of humor, huh?
Yeah. All right. Another lie that people tell a lot about is the traffic. Traffic is blamed for everything.
It's late because of traffic. Is there one for the dog?
What do you mean?
Yeah, the dog ate my homework.
That was when you were a kid, you know.
That doesn't fly when you're an adult.
Well, what would you blame the dog for? Oh, I know. What you blame the dog for all the time. You made such a big mistake opening up that one, David Lofi. Because
It's her.
David blames his dog for making these loud, obnoxious noises.
My dog's obnoxious.
No. It's the funniest thing ever.
It is really obnoxious and bad.
This cute little innocent poodle gets blamed for these loud, obnoxious sounds and smells.
Right. Well.
Okay. Another one is, I won't drink anymore.
I won't drink anymore, or less.
Not anymore.
Or less.
Yeah, David, of course you'd come up with a counter to that. I won't smoke anymore. I won't smoke any less. Or I won't drink anymore. I won't drink any less. That's a good one. Okay. Guys, we've got 2 minutes to go. If you want to share anything, 2 minutes to go until we play our game.
This is very weird. I guess Ellie's not getting the feed. That's very weird.
Tanya is watching. See, she came on cue. I said her name, and she came on cue. Okay, Tanya, we were just saying that you're going to be on the show next week. You're going to dazzle, and you're going to guide. You're going to tell people about dating and what's okay and what's not okay, and help them on all these dating issues that I can't answer, and especially David. He needs serious help. A
lot of help.
Okay, girls, give him a heart for that.
Am I? Wait. I'm thumbs up, aren't I?
I didn't know you.
Give me a thumbs up, two of them.
I lied. Brian Liggett says he's never going to date again. However, I'm going to have plenty of date nights. Oh,
Aw.
dude.
Is he dating somebody?
I hope never to date again either.
Is Brian dating somebody?
He is in love. And you know what's so awesome? I hope they don't get mad at me. Brian and Jill Best are actually parts of our leadership group, and they met through Talk Talk. So we may yet one day have our first Talk Marriage.
Mm-hmm. Maybe in
All
Ireland.
expected to be at the wedding.
Yeah. All of us.
All of us talking away. Well, it's a Talk wedding, right? So
Right. At a park, like a big,
yeah.
just have like big park thing out in the, get a mic, bring your own food.
Okay, so now I'm going to do
Okay.
something, David. We are going to go to
Potluck.
www, and by the way, this is for all of you guys as well, www.freetobleTopics.com. Free tabletop.
Oh. Free table topics, not three, free. FRE.
F4?
Tabletopics.com.
Okay, Ellie, do us a favor and type freetabletopics.com into the chat window. Okay, now you go in there and you register. So register for freetabletopics.com, because what's so awesome here is that this is a free random question generator created by none other than the amazing David Lofi.
But there's going to be a better one in Real Talk Talk. I'm not updating that
Oh,
one.
yes. Okay. So for the moment, all right. We're going to get a better tool. And when we get our website up, which is going to be Real Talk.
I can export everybody out of the page and
Yeah. So for the meantime, you can go into
The database.
freetabletopics.com, and what you can do is you can generate a question. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to generate a question for David. He's going to
Okay.
generate a question for me.
oh,
And you can decide whether to tell the truth or tell a lie. And we're going to ask our audience to determine whether we're telling the truth or telling a lie. Okay. Question, David.
1 minute, let me log in.
You can decide whether you want to tell the truth and answer this truthfully, or you can lie. And I am going to break my no lie rule, and I am going to tell a lie somewhere.
Are you?
Yes.
I-
So we
You
want to see.
lie?
We want to see. Well, I'm going to lie deliberately tonight, because we want to see if you guys in the audience are good at telling if we lie, if we give any tells away. And let me give you some clues as an expert in this area. When somebody lies, invariably certain things happen, like their eyes might narrow a little bit, their eyebrows
Mine's too
nose
easy.
might get itchy, the finger might go to the mouth, they might get uncomfortable. There are certain tells, and different people have different types of tells. Don't assume that an itchy nose means someone's lying. You've got to start watching the person's natural behavior and watching anything that deviates from that normal.
Right.
Okay. So David, my question for you is, what is your favorite song?
My favorite song,
You can lie or tell the truth.
Living on a Prayer is my favorite song. It's by Bon Jovi. And they sang it back in the 90s. And it was really well-known song. And a lot of people went to their concerts and watched their concerts. And when they went into their concerts and watched them, people would like scream and have fun. And
Okay, guys, is he telling the truth?
Living
Okay,
on
stop.
a Prayer.
You know what? I think you're lying because you've said too much. This is an example of when people over-explain, it normally means they're lying. So I think he's lying. What do you think, everybody? Don't tell us the truth yet. Tell us, everybody, do you think David Lofi is lying? Yes or no?
We haven't been getting our feed all night. What do you? Okay, you're gonna get it on their phone. Okay,
I'm going to get it on the phone now because
I coming up in here. Like, what's going on?
this has been the most awful night.
I know.
This is just, Terrible. Okay, let's see. Does everybody think he's lying? Janelle says lie. Laura says lie. Jessica Lynn says lie. Cheryl Bauer Galba says lie. Audra says lie. Brian Liggett says lie. Yeah.
You know why?
Well, you're right. Why?
Brian Liggett posted something on that song today. And that's why I said it.
Okay, so you lied,
So they
right?
all are correct. Yes, I was lying.
Okay. All right. Now, so you all learned something that when somebody over-explains something, they're trying very hard to convince you. Sometimes that means it's a lie. Okay, ask me a question and I'll tell the
Well, I
truth.
thought we were doing like table topics.
Just give me a question.
Okay, what's been on your mind most lately?
It's been on my mind most lately. Oh my God, that's a hard question.
Always on my
I have
mind.
everything on my
Always
mind
on
all the
my
time. Okay,
mind.
what's been on my mind lately is the political situation in this country.
Been on my mind a lot too. Do I believe that's a
Does
lie or
everybody- Do you
true?
think I'm telling a lie or the
I don't
truth?
think that. I think that's been on everybody's mind.
Okay, but I could be telling a lie.
I think you're telling the truth. Well, I don't think it's the most. The most? No.
Okay, well, let's just see. People, what do you think? Did I tell a lie or the truth?
I think it's a lie.
You think it's a lie? Only because you know me, but you don't know that I could be thinking about politics. Am I telling a lie or the truth? Folks, nobody knows. There are all this silence going on here now.
I'm not sure I'm good with David exporting me. Where am I going? Oh, I could export you out of this database into the other database. So we have another site.
All right, apparently everybody thinks I'm telling the truth because I'm such an angel. But actually, I told a lie and David was correct.
Yeah, I know you.
I haven't been thinking about politics a lot.
Nope.
To be honest, I couldn't really give you an answer, but what I've been thinking about a lot, mostly people. I think about people a lot. And I kind of tend to avoid politics because it's depressing. All right, question for David. Let's
Go
see.
for it.
Question for David. Let's see. New question.
New question.
I'm asking you another. Why? Okay. What is your earliest childhood memory?
My earliest childhood memory is playing with Fisher Price toys.
What could be the Fisher Price toy that you remember?
It's the raft boat.
It's funny, I just had a memory of one of those ones that had popped. You push it and all these little balls pop, 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 pop. And that is really unexpected memory. Okay, do you think David's lying about playing with Fisher Price toys? I think you're telling the truth. And he's frozen, so I'm not gonna.
I'm not frozen.
Oh, okay. All right, folks, is David telling a lie or is he telling the truth?
I'm
We've only
giving you
got
my
10 minutes
poker
left.
face.
Oh, that's his poker face.
Pretty good, huh?
You
I give you
froze.
no reaction.
And you know what's why you got a good poker face? It's because because you can do this with your eyes and nobody can even see them. Like, all right, is David lying or telling the truth? I think he is telling the truth. What is going on? Is David telling a lie or telling the truth, folks? Come on. Okay, Laura says when you lie, you look to the right. When you are recording facts, you look to the left. That's not actually true, Laura. I've studied this for 30 years. People used to think that the creative part of the brain is on the right and the logical part of the brain or the analytical part is on the left. Neuroscience has actually proven that that is not the case, that we access different parts of the brain, but you can still refer to left brain thinkers being analytical thinkers, right brain thinkers being creative thinkers. What you need to do is to ask a few questions and watch where the person looks when they're telling the truth.
If they're using that technique. Mhm.
If you're using that technique, eye movements, a far greater indicator is actually when the pupils get big or when they get small, if you can see the pupils. And in my eyes, you can.
Mine, you can't.
Okay, so Cheryl says she thinks you're telling the truth.
Well, I was going to say something else about that too, that the people look up to the right when they're thinking or down, but that's not true either. People can look down when they're thinking too, like,
Well, what they believe is when you're looking up, you are looking into your visionary
yeah,
world.
you're imagining.
Left to right, or your visionary world, where you're seeing pictures. Left to right, your auditory world. So that's remembering something that is said. Looking down is you're accessing your emotions. So, but that is very general as well. Everyone is different, folks. So this is a study of mine for, honestly, my entire life. I've done a lot of this kind of work. And so what I do is I never take things that you learn, the pseudoscience part of it, that you learn as an absolute, because some could show, just watch these patterns. That's the most important.
Blink rate. So somebody who blinks more, so they may have a blink rate that they blink all the time.
Well, you'll see in some videos, I blink a lot when I'm nervous. So that again can be disproved, is if you are nervous, and I have.
Well, all of it is just leading to things, and so it builds to an assumption.
I think what you need to do is watch a person's, how they are when you ask them questions that you know they will answer truthfully, and watch how they are, watch their defaults, and then just watch how the patterns are changed.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. So David, was that truth or a lie?
That was
Fisher Price Toys.
That was a lie.
You see how quickly he learned how to tell a lie without revealing anything. You know what he did? He learned from what I had said before and didn't over-explain. He deliberately knew what we were looking for, and this is what I mean about Mr. Clever Dick over here.
It's called poker playing. You got to change yourself up.
Right.
But anyways.
Hey, ask me a question, Loaf.
Who impresses you?
Who impresses me? You know, I can't think of a single person right now in history.
There you go.
A person who impressed me was Winston Churchill. I was really impressed by him because of his wit, not necessarily his politics. I loved and also the fact that he had a speech impediment, and yet was one of the greatest speech writers in the history, as far as I'm concerned, of speech writers. He was a brilliant orator, even though he struggled with speaking. And I find that anyone who overcomes a problem to be very inspiring. Watch David when he evaluates.
I already know the answer.
You do?
Okay,
what do you think? I'm telling you truth or lie? We've got 3 minutes left, folks.
Well, I'm waiting for other people to answer.
I, by the way, in general, suck as a liar. So I do. David knows, he knows me too well, but everybody, I'm just a very bad liar. But
if I'll say it's yes, you
know why?
Winston Churchill is yes.
You know why? It's just it's like Kelly was saying, it's all in my face. My face is very expressionful. Everything's in my eyes, so you can just see.
But I like what you tried to do there. Like go on a little bit, make it seem like you're lying.
See, he catches me. Okay, so I was telling the
truth.
I was. All right, so let's ask David Lofi a question again. These are good because you're going to get to know us. What is something that most people don't know about you?
Oh, what they will never know about that. What is something that most people don't know about me? Boy, I revealed a lot.
I could tell them.
Yeah, you probably could tell.
But I won't, because I'm so loyal to my friend.
What is something that people don't? Without just, I mean, it's not only that it's a hard question. There's a bunch of things I can say that people don't know about me.
Do something that most people don't know. Not the people that are close to you, but most people, let's say on Talk wouldn't know about you.
I'm a self-taught computer programmer. I went to college for business concentration MIS, Management Information Systems. I do have a master's in cybersecurity, but I actually learned how to program on my own in the 90s because the internet was kind of taken off and allowed for an opportunity for an opportunist like myself to take advantage of something. I actually bought my first computer was a 286 from my sister for like $200, and it had like
286. You're really giving your age away.
30 kilobytes. It had like 30 kilobytes of memory, and I think the hard drive was like maybe 60 kilobytes.
Oh, David, we're running out of time. Did he lie or did he tell the truth? I'm going to say he told the truth. All right, we've run out of time. It's 7 o'clock.
I told the truth.
He told the truth. All right, folks, so I guess the conclusion of the show is stop lying.
We know when you're
Tell the
lying.
truth.
How about that?
Tell the truth, except
We
if it
know when you're lying.
tell the truth, except if it hurts somebody. And if it hurts somebody, learn and practice the art of diplomacy, which we will be teaching in the next few weeks, months. Diplomacy, it's an art.
Next week.
Winston Churchill said it best. Diplomacy is the art of telling someone to go to hell in such a way that they enjoy the trip. And on that note,
That's a good.
All you do is talk, talk. Talk, 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 talk. All you do is talk, talk. Talk, 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 talk. All you do is talk, talk.
yeah. Bye, David.